What is going on, everybody? Sports expert here. We have some breaking news in the MLB. So the Cleveland Guardians, my Cleveland Guardians, they have made a hire. They are hiring a new manager. There were a few candidates that were rumored, at least 3 finalists, in Craig Counsell, Stephen Vogt, and Carlos Mendoza. And the Guardians have announced their manager. They are hiring former Oakland A's catcher and Seattle Mariners coach Stephen Vogt as their new manager. So looking at it, the Guardians go with a young catcher, former catcher, who was actually, very loved as a teammate, very good clubhouse leader throughout his 16-year career in the MLB, and the Guardians, build off that. As I just read something earlier, the Guardians' dream candidate, even though it was never going to happen, was Kevin Cash. So instead of hiring Kevin Cash, who was the young catcher when he was hired by the Rays, the Guardians hired their own young catcher in Stephen Vogt. So the Guardians do their thing there, and they are looking for some success early on with Vogt, as he's a guy that could be a young, analytical-minded manager who loves his teammates, and a guy that could definitely step up and succeed like great Terry Francona. So as a Guardians fan, I think it's a good hire. Did I want Craig Counsell more than anybody? Yes. I mean, who wouldn't? But at the same time, Vogt was my #1 target outside of Counsell after hearing all the rumblings and everything. So I thought it was a nice addition. If we hired Carlos Mendoza or Clayton McCullough, I would have been whatever. I wanted Mendoza over McCullough if that came down. I wasn't really a big fan of either, but I definitely would have sided with Mendoza slightly more. But I do like Vogt much more than the other two, and that's who the Guardians land. He's been a serious candidate for a few weeks now. Jeff Passan reported it earlier in the process, and now it's happening. The Cleveland Guardians might have been informed that Counsell said told him they were out, but at the same time, it felt like after the interview with Counsell, it felt like the Guardians really didn't have much of a shot, and they were just leveraged for money, which makes sense. But the Guardians, they don't need to spend a ton of money on a manager when, I just don't think that makes any sense, really. I like Counsell, very good mind, but at the same time, I think the Guardians need to look at the team itself rather than a manager when it comes to giving out millions and millions. So I think it's a very smart hire by Chris Antonetti and company. I think the Guardians are doing what they should be doing, getting a nice young manager to help that young team there and help build off a potential to the 2022 season. They weren't able to do that last season, but they're looking for more success this season, of course, and maybe Vogt can be that guy. Maybe a nice, young, fresh mind can help. So the Guardians, I'm going to give them an A for this one. I like the hire. I really do. I feel like Vogt is a guy that a lot more teams should have interest in. The Giants had interest in him before the hiring of Bob Melf, and the Brewers had interest in him. We'll see if they keep Counsell. It does sound like Counsell might be staying in Milwaukee now, and Mendoza might be the guy with the Mets, but we'll see. That's what I'm hearing now, but there's a lot to go on. But Counsell's decision is imminent. So Stephen Vogt will be the next manager of the Cleveland Guardians. And please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell for more baseball content. We do baseball content throughout the week. Would appreciate you guys stuck around. Hit the like button, comment what you think. Hitting the like button and commenting helps us in the algorithm, so I would appreciate it very much, guys. Helps me, helps everyone look for what they want around. So I appreciate you guys. Sports expert here. I'm out, guys. Peace.